Another great day and a great finish to the league.
Yeah, it was a fantastic day. We were blessed with the weather, sunshine shining, and the ground conditions were very good. And I think the consistency of the horses, the ones that came through today, they've been consistent throughout the league, and hopefully that augurs well for Lanarkhan selection.
We spoke to John Ledingham at the start of the year in Cavan, and he spoke about the aims and objectives of these horse sport classes. Do you think they've been reached?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, basically what we're trying to do is create a platform for breeders to keep the horses in Ireland and produce them in a good training manner for the series and for the future. So, for example, the 6-year-olds in the beginning, the first 3 legs of it, we didn't jump them against the clock. Again, trying to, use correct training principles and get them going. And then the last few rounds were jumped against the clock. So again, the aim obviously for the series is Lanarkhan selection. But equally we're adding value for the breeders to the horses, I hope, through the series.
And tell me just a little about your selection criteria for Lanarkhan this year.
Well, basically the top 2 horses from the league in each age category will be selected automatically, and then the winner at Dublin in the Irish Sport Horse Studbook will be selected, and then after that there's 2 wild cards. So the chef de keep is Commandant John Ledingham, and he will have looked at the horses at RDS qualifiers and at the Studbook series, so he'll be familiar with all the horses, and we'll pick the 2 wild cards based on the Irish results throughout the year. So we look at the moment to have a very strong team. We have certainly the consistent horses have continued to be consistent and on different ground and different weather conditions. So hopefully it augurs well for September in Lanarkhan.
It'll be great, all right, because Ireland have been doing so well out there. So we'd like to continue that.
It's a tall ask. It gets even harder every year. You have over 200 horses in each age category. We can only bring 5 for each age category, and that's a Studbook quota. But there's a number of wild cards from some of the countries, and that kind of boosts the numbers, which makes it a little bit unequal for the Studbooks. But however, we select them hopefully in a good manner, and we end up with consistent horses and good riders. So, as you say, we've been very successful the last couple of years, and hopefully we can do the same again this year.
These classes have become a platform for young horses, and also a way of breeders to come and see their horses week in and week out, and we see a lot of breeders here today.
It's fantastic to see them here today. There was at least 2 breeders that were here to see their horses, and it's brilliant because they have foals and yearlings out of the same mares at home, and they're getting a look to see, well, how are they jumping, did that stallion cross well? And that's really what it's about, to try and encourage breeders to get closer to the sport so that they're making even more informed breeding decisions. And that's the whole side of it. There's marketing the Irish horse, assisting breeders, and also trying to create, obviously through the prize fund, enough money to keep everybody going. So it's certainly, the aims are quite broad in this, but I think certainly the feedback today and through the series is that the riders appreciate it, the owners certainly appreciate it and like the league. So,
do you think now that this has helped to improve the standard of breeding in Ireland at the moment?
I think definitely. We're beginning, obviously the breeding, it takes so long. It's such a long generation interval, and probably the changes implemented in the Studbook this year by being able to register your horse by any stallion that is registered in a World Breeding Federation Studbook, that opens it completely up for breeders to choose whatever stallion they wish to use. And those horses can now all be inspected in the Studbook and can all compete in the Studbook series next year. So I think at this point that's a good decision, because it will give a platform for a wider variety of breeders to come out, and we have very good course builders, Tom Holden here today, so it's consistent, the series and the standard of course building, so it helps the breeders to add value to the horses. So
it's great, all right. And breeders and riders seem to really appreciate these classes.
They do, it's great. I mean, you certainly get a lot of good positive feedback, and today, everybody, and it's unusual, but everybody seems to be happy. That even if the horses have a pole down, they're still happy that the horse has gone better than previous days. So that's fantastic. It's a rare enough thing, so it's good when everybody is happy.
Absolutely. Where would you like to see breeding going in Ireland in the next couple of years?
I'd like to see, we're getting there. The corner, I think, has been turned. We've got more horses this year on Nations Cup teams, more Irish sport horses. So I think at this stage we have 14 different Irish sport horses have represented Ireland at various teams at this point in the year. like that's tremendous. We have 2 Irish bred horses going for the Olympics for show jumping. Again, like that's a huge change. In 2010 at WEG, there was no Irish horses in show jumping. So like it's only a case, we'd only need a few tweaks at this stage, but I think the breeders are, with the use of Coppelor and the internet, they certainly are, you know, using all the resources there to breed and choose the horses in a very kind of efficient manner. So I think we're there, we're in the right direction. It's just a case of time now, and if we can keep the financial support into the industry, that too obviously helps.